Good afternoon. My name is Jason Wiseberg. Hopefully on your screen you see the Value Line Library website, and this is the Value Line webinar as part of our ongoing series for our library customers and prospective customers. We give a library webinar every couple of months to go over some important topics to help those who use us now get the most out of the service, and for those who are considering subscribing, give them a little introduction or demo into the platform. So before we get started, just a couple of quick housekeeping items. First, I am happy to say the screen you see in front of you is our brand new library site. This was just released within the last week or two, and this is now dedicated just to our library clientele and prospective clientele to help you really get the most information you can out of our products and services. This is not a site that requires a login. You can simply come on here and then learn about the company, check our ranking system under products. It shows you here all the different products that we offer, and by simply clicking on any of these links, it'll give us an overview into the different products that we offer our municipal and academic library customers. So I encourage you to check out the ValueLineLibrary.com website. If you do have any questions regarding our services, it's also a great place to go for our customer service portal, where you can get information, or more importantly, contact us directly. If you don't happen to know, which I hope you do, the name of your dedicated representative, then you can simply just come to ValueLineLibrary.com, the customer service portal, and contact us, fill out a short form, and then submit, and we will get back to you. Or if you prefer, you can reach us directly at the number right here on your screen, the 800 number, and this will give you a call right into the institutional hotline during normal business hours of Monday through Friday. We will be happy to take your call directly. That's how you reach us. Again, I encourage you after the presentation or whenever you get a chance, take a look at the new website, learn about our services. You can request a free trial at any time. So even if you're a current customer and you're interested in adding on a service, don't feel free to contact us and ask for a 14-day trial of an add-on product. And if you're not a current customer, like to demo our services as well, please fill this out, give us a call, contact us however you like, and we'll get you set up on a 14-day free trial. We offer username and password trials as well as IP authenticated trials, so you can get the full robust experience of using the online platform. So that's a little intro into the new library site. That's a little background of how to contact us. Today's webinar is going to focus on 5 features that your patrons really want to use us for, or hopefully are currently using us right now. I picked 5 of the more popular features that people tend to use. They're pretty much going to range from finding a traditional PDF to remind them of the print version, to looking at how to look at the weekly updates, and then things like the screener on how to find specific companies that they're looking at. So we're going to go through 5 features, again, that are fairly popular. So what I'm going to do on your screen right now is I'm going to jump into a different tab, and it's actually the logged in site behind the paid firewall. So when you're in this page, if you go to dashboard at any given time right here up in this top menu, and you go to quick links right here, anything that you see in blue, such as analyzer I'm highlighting, anything you see in gray, tell you what you have access to and what you don't. Everything in blue you have access to according to your current subscription, and anything in gray you would not have access to. Now, if anybody forgot that, if they put the mouse over something in gray, it would tell them this product is not part of your subscription, and you would be asked to have the library contact us to see about adding that feature on. So the first thing we're going to start off with is, and this isn't really one of the five, but it's just one thing I like to remind everybody of, the easiest way for your patrons to come in and get a research report. A lot of the times their simple mission is to log into the value line, get a report on a specific company that they already know either the name or the ticker of, print that report, and then get out of town kind of thing. That is definitely one of the popular uses for people who know the product, know what they want, get on, get off kind of thing. So if they know what they're doing, and even if they don't, you can guide them to this box right here on the top right-hand column, top right-hand corner. The company name or symbol, it says, and you would do just that. So let's click in here, and I'm going to put in the ticker for Apple Computer, which is AAPL, and wait for the drop-down list to appear, and click on the name of the company and load up the digital version of that research report. So this brings us to our number one feature, is how do patrons get the traditional one-page research report that a lot of our library customers start off with in print. Every week, if you were a print customer, in the mail would come that book with all the different pages of reports in them, and we still have that available. So while we have this very nice to use, interactive, user-friendly digital version of the report that people can go through, they can move some modules around, they can expand modules and take a closer look at things. When they're all done, if they want to take something home with them, they would come up to this upper right-hand corner here, where there's PDF reports. So they would be able to come and click here and access the very first one, because that's most recent. So pause here for a moment just so I can explain in case some of you may be confused. You see December 30th, 2016 is the first date on the list. Some of you who may not be aware are saying to yourself, well, today is February 28th. How can that be the most recent report? So value line research is conducted on a 13-week cycle. We are in for people who invest in companies and hold them pretty much for a long term. Excuse me. So December 30th, 2016, last time that we issued a full-blown report on Apple. The report will come out approximately 13 weeks after that date. If I click on December 30th, 2016, up pops this hopefully familiar looking one-page report. So this looks very familiar to you, and it came in print every week. This is what your patrons can come on. They come here, they can just go to print, and then they can print out the report, one-pager to take with them when they're done using the online platform. All right. So if we close down the PDF, again, number one, probably common use is going to the digital version, and then when patrons are done wanting to take a report home with them, they're going to go to the PDF version and take it home after they print it out. Okay. So next, a lot of patrons who are familiar with Value Line realize that every Monday at about 8 a.m. Eastern Time, for those who are really in the know, we release the most recent list of companies that were updated that week. Now, Value Line releases about 120 company reports each Monday. So for those people who want to see the newest and most recent reports that were just released this week, you would want to guide them again back to this dashboard here. Taking a look up top is the dashboard. Go there by clicking on that choice. We would come back to our quick links box, which you see is right here. The best way to look at things is right here. The VLIS current issue, which stands for the Value Line Investment Survey current issue. If you were a print customer, this would be what is coming in the mail to you this week. But since you're a digital subscriber or thinking of it, you get it automatically 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Here it is, only about 120 companies that we updated. Simply clicking on that link will bring a list of the recent companies. And it's popular because a lot of people who are very loyal fans and users of Value Line, they are awaiting that Monday to see what 120 companies come out and what are their current updates. So while we're in this screen, the one thing you want to be aware of, it's very user-friendly. You want to come up to these columns up top, and by clicking on any of these columns, you can dynamically sort the page. So if I'm an astute Value Line user, and I know the ranking system is 1 through 5 right here in the timeliness world, and to give some of you a quick lesson in our ranks, a 1 and a 2 ranking would indicate a positive situation, or what we would call a buy opportunity. Think of a 3 indicate a neutral opportunity, or you know what, don't really do anything at the moment. If you own it, hold on. If you don't, maybe you want to, hesitate from purchasing at the moment. And then a rank of a 4 and a 5 would indicate a sell scenario. If you are long the stock and are thinking of selling it, now might be a good time. That is the ranking system, 1 through 5 under timeliness. And by clicking on that, we see we quickly sorted all the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4, and 5s in numerical order, and it allows me to quickly see this week what top picks will be the 1s and the 2s, and see them right here. This is for any other column. We'll come in here, click on the industry, for example, and we'll sort by industry. We can click on the safety, by safety, so on and so forth. And again, obviously alphabetically by clicking on company name. You choose the amount of companies that you want to display so you don't have to scroll much. And since about 120 companies are released, you would be pretty much covered if you went to the 250 selection, and all the companies would be listed here on the page. Okay, so that's most common asked. Number 2 is how do you see the weekly updates quickly, the companies that were just released. So let's go on to our third point. And again, for those of you who might be new to these webinars, we try to keep them short and sweet. We value your time, you value your time, so we want to make sure we got to get you in and out of here. But if I am going too fast for anyone, you can ask questions at the conclusion, which I would let you know you can use the chat feature of X platform. I apologize, I should have told you at the beginning. Or I will show you how you can email a question into Value Line again after the webinar if you have any. Going back again, we're going to go to, I bet you can guess where, dashboard. And the third most commonly asked question, according to people we speak with, is how do I get the weekly selection and opinion? Now, for those who may not know, the weekly selection and opinion comes out every Monday, and at the same time those companies are released, and it is found here under the quick links box. It is actually the one right here, selection and opinion. Why is this important? If I click on this link that says selection and opinion, this is a report that comes out and says exactly what the title suggests. It's our opinion on the stock market and the current economic outlook and how we think things are going for the week ahead, what happened a week behind. And as I scrolled through this, you can see we have a lot of commentary in here. We give forecasts on certain parts of major economic numbers. So in this week's issue, we have a lot of forecasted data that's in here. And for those more astute and investors and people who've been using Value Line, this is very important to them to look at the selection and opinion report that gets updated every Monday. So this is a great place to guide your patrons to if they say, hey, I'm looking for that weekly report that Value Line puts out on general things. Sometimes they describe it as they're talking about the selection and opinion report again, which will be found right here under quick links. Continue to scroll through just to give you a little flavor of what in the report. Okay, this is the quarterly economic review, so this is actually a really good one because it has a lot of information in it. Some weeks different than others. But then just to mention, we provide you with 4 models that your patrons can use for their investments. These models are updated every Monday in this report. And without getting into too much detail, there's 4 models that contain about 20 stocks in each model, and a lot of your patrons follow these models either either to the T, meaning they buy every name that we suggest, or they kind of pick pieces out of it. But it's important for them to know, what companies are currently in the model and what changes were made. And if I go back up, you'll see here we give a description of each portfolio and what changes we did to them the week before. So selection opinion report, as I close that down, is very important. And if you notice, the theme so far has been the dashboard. We've looked at the current issue of Value Line released on Mondays, and the selection and the opinion report, which is also released on Mondays. Two great things to highlight, two things that your patrons are definitely looking at. So far, we looked at the traditional PDF, the weekly company updates, and the selection and opinion report. So number 4 on our list would be the online screener. This is a really powerful tool, and it is located under the Find Ideas section right here. Clicking on Find Ideas, it will bring up a submenu, and then under the submenu, we want to come to here that says Screener. The screener is a tool that allows your patrons to sift through the vast universe of companies that Value Line covers. Depending on your level of subscription, that could be 1,700, that could be 3,500, that could be all the way up to 6,000 companies. So you can tell, as you can tell, there's a lot of information that's available. So the screener is a tool that helps them sift through all this to find exactly what they need. Now, a quick introduction into using the screener. It's pretty simple. What you're going to do is you're going to focus on these criteria on the left-hand side. There's a couple of hundred fields to choose from. You would scroll through this and kind of find what you're looking for, right? So if we start something simple like our timeliness rank, which I introduced in the beginning, is our kind of bread and butter rank on that 1 to 5 scale. By clicking on it, it will load up here as our first criteria. Second, I want to pick industry. So I clicked on industry, which is it. And then third, let's do stock price. What I'm asking the screener to do is return to me 3 levels. 1, 2, 3. And the cumulative search, this level will never search until we finally get to level 3, which will ultimately return the list of companies I am looking for. So to start our criteria, I would just click on, say, I want a list of all 1-ranked companies. It tells me, okay, well, there's 99 of them, right, in the universe that I have access to. So let's narrow that down. I want to say, okay, I want to see all the number 1 ranked companies, but only show me in the, let's pick hotel. There probably isn't any in there. Let's look at home. There's any home building. And why? How do I know there's not? Because there's a 0 there. So right now this is telling me there is no 1-ranked companies in the home building industry. Let me choose another industry that may have some 1-ranked. The top of my head, let's try beverage. Beverage, okay. Auto parts, perhaps. Not having a lot of luck. Coal, that's a tough one. That's a bad example. Let's try one more. And they're not going to waste your time because you kind of get the idea, but I'll get my last pick. So apparel. In the apparel industry, there are 2 companies that ranked number 1. Okay, start off with 99. We start our search down to 2, and then only on our 3rd level, we're saying, okay, I want those companies that are in the following price range. Too small of a range, so let me open it up. Stick with this. 99 companies ranked the 1, 2 in the apparel industry, and then 2 on this price range asked for from here to here. And then ultimately what we do is we come down, and here's the 2 companies that's the criteria that I asked for, Guess and Ralph Lauren. Right? It gives you an idea of how to use the screener at a very high level. There's a lot of information in here, and once you got to this, you can look at these different tabs of information for each company and scroll over and see different pieces of information. Estimates or projections is a big one that your patrons use us for. Okay, but that's a way to use the screener, try to get exactly for what we're looking for in that vast universe of companies that we cover. Those are the 5 features that I wanted to touch on. Again, reviewing is the traditional PDF, how to download, get the weekly updates, those companies that were released on a Monday, selection and opinion report, and the screener. Oh, and I'm sorry, and number 5 is actually your online resources. So if we go under investment education, right here, you can direct your patrons to get some online help, to try to let them, try to help themselves learn how to use our product. Here I would suggest there's 2 really good places. There's the glossary, there's the tools and guides. The glossary is important because in our research, and here this is an important note, your patrons have access to the same research reports that professionals are looking at. So the professionals who subscribe to Value Line at Merrill Lynch or Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, they're looking at the same report patrons are. Now, this report are a lot of terms that they may not be familiar with because they're not a professional investor. So if you come to the glossary, see a lot of things are covered here. And by simply clicking on any of these terms, it will give you a definition of what that term means. So cash flow. When you're looking at one of our research reports and you see cash flow on it, if you're not familiar with what that's telling you, come to the glossary and we'll explain what it is. Glossary is one good place. The second is tools and guides. In tools and guides, we're going to have a couple of things. We're going to have some PDFs. For example, how to use the screening tool. If I launch this PDF, and let me just blow this up a little bit, it takes you through the same steps that I took you through on how to use the screener. It's a great place to go if somebody needs a little extra help using the screener. Also have information on how to our ranking system in general. I briefly mentioned to you our 1 through 5 scale. Here's a more detailed PDF on how to use the ranking scale and understand it. And then keep scrolling down, you'll see things like information on the fund advisors and specific products. Okay? So that is number 5 on our list of top 5 things to go over. So what I want to leave you with again is how to get additional help if you need it. If you go to valuelinelibrary.com in the beginning of our webinar, I mentioned that under the customer portal right here, you can come here and go to contact us. You could also access user guides, look at tutorial videos, which will help you off as well. But if you want to contact us and you can't find an answer under frequently asked questions, simply click on contact us, fill out the short form, enter your question right here, and a representative will get back to you as quickly as possible. So in conclusion, I want to say thank you for taking a couple minutes out of your day today to join us. I want to remind you that ValueLineLibrary.com is another place to go to get information on all our library services. Encourage you to take advantage of the 14-day trial if you're not a current customer, or even if you are, if you want to try a new service. So again, thank you for your time. I hope you found this informative and enjoy the rest of your day.